Hello, a warm welcome to you. This is Community Feedback on Lagos Television. I'm Kike Lomo Oduyibo. Lagos, a city of aquatic splendor, has an amazing story to tell on its water transportation experiences. That's what I'll be sharing today on Community Feedback. Stay with us for the full details. Yes, Lagos State is blessed with enormous water resources, and the state government is constantly working towards improving transportation via the waterways. Today, we are at the Lagos State Waterways Authority here in Falomo. That's their headquarters, and our correspondent brings us details of water transportation. Let's join her for the full details.
Residents living in communities have never had it so good, as the Lagos State government has provided various interventions to boost water transportation in their localities. With the introduction of new ferry routes to complement existing ones, the problems encountered, particularly by those living in riverine communities while moving from one point to the other, is now being addressed. Consequently, people in communities such as Ipakodo, Ijede, Èbúté Ọ̀jọ́, Igbogubayeku, Òkè Ìrànlá, Badore, Ìlàjẹ Bariga, Èbúté Mẹ́ta, Èbúté Èrò, among others, can heave a sigh of relief as they now move with ease to their destinations through the waterways on a daily basis. Other interventions that have been introduced by the state government include the removal of abandoned, reinforced concrete jetties located in riverine areas in order to create smooth pathways along Lagos waterways.
Water transportation is one of the internodal transportation tripods we are committed to developing as a strategy to reduce congestion on our roads, which account for over 90% of people commuting in Lagos. It is glaring that for Lagos to be functional and to become a smart city that we all desire, there must be a diversification of the mode of transportation. There must be interconnectivity of rail, of road, and water transportation system.
Some residents who spoke to Community Feedback crew lamented the slow pace at which boats navigate through their communities, which is one of the reasons the state government recently provided 7 additional high-capacity speedboats built by local builders for the Lagos ferry services, like Ferry, in addition to existing ones. This would help increase efficiency of ferry services and, by extension, enable them to spread their tentacles to different communities. Many believe that the provision of these new high-capacity speedboats will increase the boarding rates of community dwellers in Ikorodu, Ijede, Apapa, Badore, Badagry, and other riverine communities, as they will be able to avoid gridlock on the roads, traffic-induced robberies, manpower lost in traffic, and above all, get to their destinations safe and sound.
Like every transportation mode, especially these kind of modes, which are quite peculiar, you have what we call peak periods, which is usually in the morning from about 6:30 a.m., which is at the point of dawn in the morning. You have 6:30 a.m. till about 9:10 in the morning. So between 10 and 3 is the off-peak period where you might not see a lot of activity, except you go to those areas around Ojo and Badagry, where there's a constant movement between different communities in that area. And then the peak period again picks up again around 3:30 till about 6:30. Because once it's 7 p.m. and it's dark, you're not expected to be on the waterways, except it's tourism activities and it's a cruise boat.
I cannot say I'm a frequent user, but I use the waterways. But obviously, I don't know how to swim, so for me, the groundways is better. And then it's usually fun when you want to just unwild and be easy.
In the same vein, Small business owners in these localities now use the Lagos Water Transportation to move their goods and services from one community to another. Also, to help prevent accidents that may occur on Lagos waterways, the state government thought it wise to put in place adequate safety measures for these rural dwellers through the provision of life jackets, among other safety precautionary measures on the Lagos waterways.
In ensuring that, boats that they're going to use are safe, adhering to safety measures. We've been encouraging the private sector to also get involved of providing boat services on our waterways. We even have the Maiden States One, the state ferry operator revived now under Lagos Ferry Services. So I would say now there's a lot of development in that sector by the state government. And we're seeing a lot of traction because the whole idea is to provide alternatives to road transportation.
Ultimately, the goal is to ensure a smooth alternative to road transportation, and the inhabitants of riverine communities are thankful to the Lagos State government for putting in place these alternatives to make life easier for them as they move through the waterways connecting the urban centers.
Welcome back. I tell you, water transportation in Lagos State is getting better and better every day, even as the state governor intends to link it up with rail and road for a 21st century economy. Let's get more reactions from the people of Lagos on this. Stay with us for the details.
Water transportation would say is the safest mode of transportation, even according to research. And the reason why is because in the case of any emergency, as long as you have your life jacket on, you'll be safe. According to, if you look at statistics, compared to how many accidents happen on the road on a daily basis, you realize that the margins for water transportation accidents is actually very low. But we know that when an accident happens, it creates a lot of publicity because it's that one incident that happens on the waterways. But we would say definitely it's the safest mode. And we continue to ensure, the state government is committed to ensuring that safety is the priority on the waterways through different investments.
This is more safer compared to the road because you have a limited hour, a minute you spend there. And the captains, they are well groomed, they are good. But just that we need more boats on that route. It's shorter.
Fún àwọn ènìyàn wa tó fẹ́ máa jáde láti ilé lọ sí ọ́fíìsì àbí lọ síbòmíràn, àǹfààní tó wà lórí omi pọ̀ ju ti orí ilẹ̀ lọ. Torí pé kò sí ìdádúró lórí omi. Tí ọkọ̀ bá ti gbéra, ọkọ̀ gbéra nìyẹn. Kò sí pé bóyá nǹkan tó fẹ́ dá ọkọ̀ dúró. Dó gallop lè wà nígbà míì bí wave. Kò ní ìdí pé àwọn tó wà nínú ọkọ̀ ní láti bẹ̀rù. Wọn ò ní bẹ̀rù. Tọ́kọ̀ tí omi yẹn bá gbé sókè, á tún gbé padà sílẹ̀ ni. Tó bá dẹ̀ ti ń lọ, atẹ́gùn natural atẹ́gùn ló máa fẹ́ síyàn lára, kò ń ṣe pé bóyá unlike mọ́tò tó èèyàn mẹ́rùn mẹ́fà máa kórí papọ̀ sínú ọkọ̀ sínú mọ́tò, but lórí ilẹ̀ natural breeze ló máa fẹ́ sí wọn lára, tọkàn wọn máa balẹ̀. Kò sí pé bóyá ọkọ̀ ń dá dúró. Ẹ bá wo tẹ́nìkan bá gbéra ní Ìkòròdú tó wọ mọ́tò, tẹ́nìkan wọ ọkọ̀, ẹni tó wọ ọkọ̀ máa dúró sí ọ́fíìsì de ẹni tó wọ mọ́tò ni. So a fi àkókò yẹn wá ń pàrọwà fún gbogbo àwọn ènìyàn wa. Kò dẹ̀ ń ṣe Ìkòròdú nìkan ni ọkọ̀ ti máa ń jáde. Ọkọ̀ máa ń jáde láti Ìkòròdú wá sí Victoria Island, ó ń lọ sí Èbúté-Èrò, ó ń lọ sí CMS. Then ọkọ̀ dẹ̀ wà láti Ìjẹ̀dẹ̀ tó ń wá sí CMS, wá sí VI. Ọkọ̀ wà láti Fálọmọ tó ń lọ sí Àpápá side. Then ọkọ̀ dẹ̀ wà ní àwọn àṣìṣì tọ̀hún yẹn náà, láti Ọ̀jọ́ wá sí Àpápá, láti Ọ̀jọ́ wá sí Mile 2, láti Ọ̀jọ́ wá sí Èbúté-Èrò, ọkọ̀ wà. Then ọkọ̀ dẹ̀ wà láti Èbúté-Èrò náà lọ dé Badagry. Even láti CMS ọkọ̀ wà láti lọ dé Badagry. Láti Liverpool ọkọ̀ wà dé Badagry. Tí atẹ́gùn bá pọ̀ jù àbí ìjì tó bá pọ̀ jù, a lè dúró fún. Tó bá dẹ̀ ti subside, tó bá ti lọlẹ̀, a bẹ̀rẹ̀ join wa, kò sí nǹkan kan tó máa tún dá wa dúró. So instead táwọn èèyàn wá fi máa lọ hang ara wọn sínú hold up, ó bẹ́tà kí a lo omi.
Adé ń padà láti Ìkòyí padà sí Ìkòròdú, but actually fact there is no consistency among them here. Kọ́ńtà ń try láti sọ ni wípé Lagos State láti at least wọ́n meet up a lot. Wọ́n tún gbìyànjú láti bá kọ́ àwọn mọ́tò tuntun yẹn jáde. Àwọn eléyìí náà tọ́jú wà tá ń lò kán máa try láti regulate wọn because it's like pé àwọn LASUA yẹn ń try but notwithstanding wọ́n láti improve lórí ẹ̀ dáadáa káwọn eléyìí fọkàn balẹ̀ torí òun the best tó wà faster jù tó dẹ̀ wà okay among the transportation system ta ní ìlú Èkó but kan make sure pé wọ́n bá wa mójútó wọn láti máa regulate wọn àti máa control àwọn guys yẹn tó ń perform yẹn nǹkan tá a fẹ́ nìyẹn then more so kán jẹ́ kán owó yẹn kó wá sílẹ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀ wọ́n 500 naira 600 àti bẹ̀ wọ́n sọ di 700 unfortunately láàrin oṣù méjì wọ́n tún ti increase sí 1000 naira so kò dẹ̀ jẹ́ nǹkan tó ṣe pé ni kó wà okay ìka ò dọ́gba kán gbìyànjú àwọn èèyàn láìkẹ́ láti máa wọ̀ but notwithstanding a fẹ́ kí wọ́n improve lé lórí then majorly àwọn LASUA wọ́n gbìyànjú wọ́n try gan torí wọ́n moderate wọn but àwọn onípákó ìgangan ni kán ṣe àtúnṣe lé lórí then eléyìí tí Sanwó-Olú fún wa yẹn kán make sure pé eléyìí tó tún jù yẹn lọ wọ́n kó wá fún wọn wọ̀ but tó gbé mò ń kọjú lọ síbì kan ló jẹ́ kí n wọlé àwọn yẹn wọ́n wà convenience dáadáa wọ́n dẹ̀ 800 làwọn yẹn.
Just before we end the program today, let's take our last segment on Did You Know? Stay with us for the details. My final thought on the program today is, why waste another minute in traffic when you can actually try out water transportation? Wow, we've come to the end of the program. Thank you so much for being part of it. Stay safe and see you next time.
This is Vegas. You know